You know him from a show called This Is Us, but now you know him from Black and Blue. James Moses Black joins us in studio on AfterBuzz TV. Stick around.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz.
Woohoo! It is Thursday, my dudes. What's up, everyone? We're here at AfterBuzz TV. I'm your host, Ollie Drennan, and I'm here by none other than James Moses Black in studio.
Wow, that was like a rousing introduction.
You know, I'm excited. I said it. It's Friday tomorrow, James.
Yeah.
And I have to say thank you so much for joining us in studio. It means so much to us. It's an honor, my good friend.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Yes, we're going to be talking about Black and Blue, your latest film.
Okay.
Super excited. But first, a little icebreaker, James. I want to get to know you a little bit more.
Sure.
How did you get into acting, and who are some of your, whether it's a director or other actors, who have really inspired you on your path of becoming an actor and being an actor today?
Well, I would say probably there's a couple people who inspired me. I would say Robin Williams.
Definitely.
Inspired me to do what I do. Also James Brown, but not from the aspects of being, a singer, but a performer. Sammy Davis Jr., just watching him perform, I subtly learned the aspects of performing. And then I would say my mother, man, she's an artist herself, so that's where I got all the inspiration to go and pursue this performance ideal of a career.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I've been hearing you talk about New York. You're booked and busy.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little film just, wrapped October 25th in theaters. Now it's still in theaters. You got to go see it, Black and Blue.
Black and Blue.
Tell me a little bit about the film for anyone who doesn't know what this film is about, and kind of your role. I hear you're kind of a corrupt cop.
Yes, I am.
You're not on the good side. But please tell us about the film.
Well, it's I like to talk about it as it's a modern day Training Day, except the character that Ethan Hawke had is now a woman, Naomie Harris. She's from London. And then instead of having one Denzel, you got like 5 Denzels.
I love it.
Yeah, right?
Right.
So I took pride in being the most handsome,
by far.
Yeah. It was either me or Frank Grillo, and I was like, man, it's me, Frank. But it's about a woman who comes home after serving in the war, and she wants to be a cop now to extend her service to humanity in a sense from her neighborhood, and the self cams or the body cams are in effect.
Right.
And she disobeys one of my orders to stay in the car, and then she accidentally records a murder by the police. So after that point, she's on the run, and we either have to track her down or go to jail.
Ooh, take the law into your own hands.
Yeah, and we're the law, you know what I mean? So we're the law, and we're taking the law into our own hands against the law.
I love
crazy.
it. This cast, obviously you're a part of it. Naomie Harris, you're talking about Frank, Tyrese Gibson. And I'm a nerd. Marvel, you know me, Luke Cage, Mike Coulter.
Yeah,
come on.
So
how is this experience of being just part of this ensemble cast of such talented people?
Well, the good thing about that is everyone is sort of their individual talent, right? So when you put individual talents together, it makes it easier to tell a story because people come at it from the angle that they know what they're doing. You know what I mean? And so when you have these run-ins, these professional run-ins on the camera, it's just so effortless. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And the continuity is there, and even if you have an issue with, and Deon Taylor was the director.
Right.
He did Intruder, The Traffic, Meet the Blacks. Even if you did have sort of a disagreement about how a scene should go, he would talk to you and say, come to it and say, hey man, put it in your words, or let's figure this out.
Right.
So it was really good on his part just to be sort of a part of the team as well, instead of being the team,
Yeah, and let you find your characters as well as you're portraying them.
Right.
You have the script, but take it into your own hands as well. That's great feedback from him, for sure.
Yeah.
And so tell me about kind of why is this important for you? Because I know this film also represents a lot of what's going on today with police brutality and whatnot. So how is that important to kind of like have one of those themes within the film and kind of just spread that as not only like a performer, an actor, but a human being as well?
Well, I think there's a couple important factors to me on this movie. One, is the whole issue of body cams. So you can have body cams aren't put into practice in 152 states in America.
Wow.
So that's a troubling issue. Like only certain states use body cams, but body cams are meant to protect. You know what I mean? So you can't, not even as a cop, but as a civilian, you can't get away with it anymore. Whatever, which one's doing what.
Right.
But the important thing, another important thing is, the brutality and the gun force that is being used right now is crazy. And it's a report every day. Something comes out every day about gun violence in terms of cops. Yeah, and people being scared out of their wits because they look like the person or they were in the same vicinity as the person. And I just think there's going to come a point where I think the NRA is going to get crushed because there's too many guns on the street. You know what I mean? And if you get your hands on a gun, besides in California. We had like a mass shooting today at a school.
Right. I saw that on the news.
It's crazy, man. That's
wild.
crazy. And these are kids, and then we have adult things as well. But, this gun control, this gun thing is just out of control, man. But what I really dug about the film is, my character I took what I had experienced in life with the police.
Right.
And oftentimes I went to a predominantly black school, Central State in Ohio.
Oh, and, Ohio!
Yeah,
shout out to Ohio. Yeah. So many people from Ohio. It's awesome.
Yeah. And I got harassed. I don't know how many times, man. But I took
from the police.
From the police,
man.
Just for driving and being. But I thought at that time the worst cop to get harassed by was a black cop. Because he didn't know which side he should flow on.
Right.
So he had to be a partner. But we're looking at him like. We need some empathy right now.
Yeah,
bro.
he's on the both sides of the fence.
Yeah. So that's how my character came out. Is like I didn't want her to get involved, and I had some benevolence about it in the beginning, but it almost made me choose a side reluctantly.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest thing for me because I had experienced that, but I wanted to make this dude so bad. Until you met her, and he's like, you can't get involved with this. But I wanted to make him so bad on my experience that like people were like, man, I did some pop-ups at some theaters, and I was there. They come out the theater, and I'm like, hey, I'm Deacon Brown. I was just in the movie, and they're like, yeah, whatever, okay. And they would just walk away. It was pretty funny, man. And then one guy came back. I said, oh, somebody was coming back, and he's like, where's the bathroom?
Oh my gosh,
it's right there. Sorry, but
oh my gosh,
yeah.
That's crazy. That's hilarious. So speaking of kind of comic relief, how do you prep yourself for kind of like going into these really intense scenes? Or is there any humor on set? Like, how do you function as an actor dealing with all these heavy topics?
Well, just my own practice is once they say cut, I got to go back to a normal life. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Got it back, James. James is back.
Yeah, I got to go back to making people laugh and making myself laugh and having a good time. And in fact, one of the executive producers told me, he said, like, man, we thought we picked the wrong dude in you. And I was like, why? He said, because you were having fun. I was like, dude, well, it's cut and action. Those are only two words I deal with. You know what I mean? So when you say action, I'm ready to go. When you say cut, I let it go.
Definitely.
So that's my practice of, I'm always. If you treat people really well, right? If you treat people really well and then they step on you, it makes you upset, right? You get super upset. That's how I looked at my character. When I'm off camera, I'm a great dude. So when we get into the scene and something happens bad to me or somebody does me wrong, then I'm all over them. You know what I mean? So that's just from my life outside the camera. So that's part of the way I do it. Yeah.
James, why do people need to see this movie? Why is it important for everyone in the country, all over the world, to see this film? And what are they going to get out of it?
Well, I think the important part it's a couple of important parts. The first one I would say is understanding how relationships have to occur in the community between the people who protect, the people who serve, on both sides. You know what I'm saying? You have to see the beginnings of how we have to deal with these people that protect us and these people who are being protected, because it's a serious issue right now. You know,
Right.
If you call the cops. Excuse me. If you call the cops, then you're expecting a conflict. You should be really expecting some resolution or something.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's one of the things that I think people should see the movie about. Another thing I think you should see is because it's a straight action movie, man. And it doesn't let up. You get involved, we get involved, it goes all the way to the end. It's straight action if that's your kind of genre that you want to look at. And then I'd say thirdly, because I'm in it.
Yes, the most important reason. Let's be real, James.
Right.
And we have to wrap up soon. But you are such a versatile actor to me. Something kind of opposite. You're in like a show that we cry every single week watching
Right.
This Is Us. So I can't let you go before just kind of like talking about This Is Us real quick and mentioning it. So what has that been, being a part of This Is Us? And us crying all the time, watching each and every single episode. What does that mean for you? And also, why do you think people resonate with that show so much?
I think because people can see themselves in the show. No matter who you are, no matter what you look like, no matter what you believe, you can see yourself in this show.
Right.
And the more important thing is humanity. You know, it's not good to have a homogenous society, you know what I mean? And for a while, TV was a homogenous society.
Right.
It didn't represent a lot of different groups. So that's what I think why the show resonates with people, because it has just a broad sort of microcosm of the world. You know what I mean? There's another word. It's not microcosm. But anyway, it represents, to me, the world, and the world of humanity, and humanity that has different issues. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And when I did it, it was just like, man, I think Regina King almost directed the episode that I was on, but there was another director who was a woman. And then I just thought it was, you know how you have your best friends who you get along with. I know you said you have a Friendsgiving coming up. Your best friends who you feel so good about because they're so good.
And their family.
And their family. That's how working on that show is.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I mean, now, listen, I did my thing. Right? I did my thing. But I was working with a group of people who just felt like, man, we got this gift, and we want to let you open the present too and be a part of the gift. And it was kind of inspiring to work with those people.
That's so good to hear, knowing that that's such a hit show behind the scenes. It's like practically the same thing on screen.
Right.
It's so cool.
Right.
And so we do have to wrap up, unfortunately. But James, you got to tell us any upcoming projects you got going on. You got to plug it. I know you got a little thing going on Amazon coming up, right, James?
Yeah, I got a little thing. You know, I can't really talk about it, but I can tell you what it is.
Okay, please do.
It's called Operation 88, and it's I play a colonel who is trying to develop the ultimate war machine, which is a human being.
Oh my gosh, James, that sounds so sci-fi and nerdy. That's my brand.
It is sci-fi,
I
nerdy
love it.
stuff.
And do we have a release date yet?
March.
March.
Yeah, and we shot it in Durango and Mexico City, and then it has we got like 3 seasons already. So.
Oh my gosh!
I
Well,
know.
congratulations,
Thank you.
and congratulations to Black and Blue.
Appreciate
it's in
it.
theaters, guys. You got to see this film.
You got to go see it
because of James. Most important reason.
What?
Well, thank you so much, James. It's been a pleasure
Holly.
talking to you and
Appreciate it.
getting to know you as well. And where can your fans and everyone watching, listening, find you on social media?
So if you're 50 and over, Facebook. If you're a little younger, you can find me on Instagram at whoisjamesmosesblack.
We love it. Well, I definitely am so happy to be able to interview you tonight. It's such a pleasure. James, I'm Ollie Drennan. You can find me at Ollie Dreamer on social media. So until then, everyone, go see Black and Blue because of James.
It's me.
Bye.
Me. And Ollie said.
Oh, James. Mostly James.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.